Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you didn't miss me much since the time of my last video. Today I want to take you for a walk with me around Coimbra, and we will talk about the emotional part of moving abroad, how to adjust to a new country, new reality, and what are the priorities to choosing a country. Is it only about the opportunities like the startup visa, or is there something else? This is my third relocation after Germany and Armenia, so I can compare my experiences as much as they can be compared and make some conclusions. So if you're interested in this conversation, let's go, continue watching this video. So what do I feel now living in Portugal? In short, we applied for the residence permit last week, so it's a huge relief. For the background info, in Portugal, everything takes time, like any paper, any visit to a place, any call. So obviously you spend all of your energy on that. At least I take these kind of things very seriously, and I cannot just relax and live my life until it's done. And my approach is to do as much as possible beforehand, collect all possible papers, read all possible information, so that I won't be requested any additional paper that I could have received but I didn't, and that I needed very soon. So yeah, and this brings us to another point, that all services in Portugal depend on the person delivering them, whether it's opening a bank account, getting a NIF number, or especially applying for the residence permit. That's why it's often the case that applying for a startup residence in one city or another can be absolutely different experience. So, by the way, comment if you need a detailed video about applying for the permits as a startup founder. And after all, we applied without being asked a single question, and I'm super proud of myself and super happy. So now you can imagine what a huge stone fell from my shoulders. So finally, after 10 months, we don't need to think about that. And yes, I say 10 because everything starts with your application for the startup visa, right? So it's been a long journey, and yeah, now it's a great relief, and we finally arrived to our destination. So I started to notice that I actually have a lot of energy when I wake up in the morning, and I have some free space in my mind to think of what I like, what I want. It's like, you know, for this time of 10 months, somebody simply switched off all of my senses. So like I would never react on small things. I was just really focused on what we were doing. And now it's just like, dish, okay, yeah, now I can finally see that the sky is blue, that the sun is shining, and everything is good. And it's like a weird switch from this robotic mode to the live mode. This is really amazing. I never thought that I would feel this way. What else do I feel being in Portugal? I feel pretty much comfortable, I must say, and it seems that the Portuguese culture fits me well. And of course I'll explain what I mean by that, because I think this is something that should actually be in the list of criteria to consider when relocating. So when I first moved to Germany, I thought that I kind of already have an image of this country and I can easily integrate into it. I knew that people are so good at planning, they are responsible, they are straightforward, very organized, and always keep things in order. And that's exactly what I like too, if you noticed it from my previous story about collecting documents for the residence permit. But I didn't know that this way of doing things not only applies to work and business, but to the other aspects of life, when they're scheduling all friends and family's meetings, being over polite even in small situations, and being quite distant in personal communication, so they're not sharing emotions openly. And of course, like, don't get me wrong, I don't generalize or don't judge the entire country, the entire culture. I know that people are different and places are different, but still, this was my impression, my experience. Um, yeah, I lived for the first 1.5 years in a German family near Frankfurt. Then I went to Bavaria for studying. And I was trying my best to absorb the culture, learn the language, copy people's manners, their way of thinking. And I guess that at some point I was actually quite good at it, to look at it from the outside. But it was so tiring, and what I think now was useless because I still felt a lot of stress and I felt like a stranger. And again, this doesn't mean that I don't like Germany or something else. I still do. It was a great time there, and yeah, there are some people in Germany who I got closer with. So obviously, yeah, it would just take me a lot of time to get, my comfort zone there, my bubble, and to surround me with all the places, people that would make me feel comfortable. Guys, this is so beautiful here. Just like autumn vibes and summer vibes at the same time. Anyway, the other place I stayed for over 6 months was Armenia. Culturally, yes, it's much closer to Russia, and especially for me in the region where I'm from. People are super open, talkative, hospitable. However, their lifestyle and their working style are so different, just like totally opposite to Germany. People almost never plan anything. They can easily forget about your agreements, about you calling them and asking something. And again, this is only my experience, although you can check actually some cultural models that social studies scientists made, and you'll find interesting explanation for these cultural patterns. Anyway, yeah, I felt like Germany was like too organized for me, and Armenia was too disorganized for me. So that's an interesting experience. Anyway, when I came to Portugal, I almost instantly, or better say intuitively, started to notice that I kind of understand people's emotions. And I don't talk about deep things here, but just like social behavior. But still, people are enough open to start chatting with you in public places, and they helped me if they saw that I was confused and I was like searching something with my eyes. But compared to Germany, they don't try to make eye contact with you on any occasion. Like if you pass by in a narrow street or something like this, like in Germany, they would always say hi and, try to be polite. Of course, here there is a lot of bureaucracy, especially for foreigners, but I think this is like everywhere else in the world. Of course, a lot of gaps in the system, yet people stay people. To give you an example, our landlady is the sweetest person. She chose us because of her emotional impulse. So after seeing our self-presentation and after meeting us in person, and not because we provided a lot of documents that we can pay a lot, and or because we would offer to pay a lot. So, not the formal things, but because of the emotional impulse. Although I could totally understand if she would refuse, because for her, we are foreigners, we are strangers, less predictable, less trustworthy than someone local. So yeah, I think I can just say that I'm extremely grateful to Portugal for welcoming us so warmly. So there are several conclusions that I want to make out of all I'm saying in this video. And the first one, there are no bad or good cultures, but there are cultures or mentalities that are closer or further to your native culture or your personal values and lifestyle. And in my opinion, it's important to consider this when thinking about where to relocate. Because if you want to integrate into society, you want to build your business, if we talk about the startup visa program, it means that you will always be in touch with other people. You don't want just to come and stay in your shell, right? Or in your social bubble. And you may say I'm lucky because I'm from Eastern Europe, so I know much more about European cultures. And yes, that's true. But if you're watching this from India, from Morocco, from Vietnam, from Pakistan, or whenever else, you can do your research. So watch or read about where you want to go. If it's Portugal, then Portugal. Learn something about this culture. Make some efforts instead of only thinking about the advantages that you will get from moving to Portugal or relocating your business here, and then being stressed about integration. And be honest with yourself. Think what kind of personality you have. What's the most important for you? What kind of lifestyle, what kind of mentality, because this affects a lot. And the second point is that it will never be a 100% match. So be ready that there will be always something new to adjust to learn. And my example of adapting in Germany taught me that I don't need to completely rebuild myself and pretend to be a local, which I obviously did. I think if you're not a 16-year-old student, you most probably have your own experience already, ideas about life and values, so don't give up on them. But ask yourself questions like, why is it like that? Why do I think so? Can I choose to do it differently? And when you reflect on these things, you can discover the whole new world, basically. And imagine yourself being a kid at a huge toy shop. You just go around and take what you like about this or that culture. Like, isn't it amazing? Like, if you like coffee with pastel de nata in the morning, perfect, take it as your new habit. Or if you want to keep your, I don't know, family tradition of doing something, no problem, keep it. And there is a great balance in it. You're open for new things to come, but you also have something authentic. So yeah, basically you become a patchwork person, if I can say so. So like a puzzle with a lot of different elements. And in my opinion, it makes it so easier to communicate with different people based on all of your different experiences. Isn't it amazing? So that's my final beautiful location in this video. Let me know, guys, what experiences or what vision on immigration you have. Have you had any similar thoughts or your own conclusions? Please share them with all of us. And thank you very much for watching this video till the end, and see you in the next videos. Bye bye.